Welcome to the Football Exponential Show. I'm Chika and I'm joined by Fran.
Hi, Chika, how you doing? And a pleasant welcome to our followers and listeners.
I'm fine. So today we had the Arsenal and the Tottenham game today, and it ended at 1-0 in favor of Arsenal. And funny enough, what played that was what people were expecting. Because today Ateta played the Shondai system of football where he just came to let
You're,
me just get a draw.
you're saying today?
Yeah.
This no, no,
Did
no, this
Ateta
has been
attack?
us.
Sir?
No, this has been Arteta's MO for the last year or so.
And he does it against Manchester City, though. That's who I noticed. I noticed with
It,
City, but I've
City,
not
he's done
noticed
it.
with Tottenham. Oh, he does it more
No,
regularly.
this is his MO where there's this. A lot of people have this opinion of Arteta that is Pep, one of Pep's disciples and one of Pep's sons, all those cliches. But people forget he's also, I think it's partly Pep and partly David Moyes, where
Yeah.
you see like in terms of the set pieces, how they capitalize on set pieces, how they defend deep in a very solid low block, very compact 4-4-2, two strikers press, two strikers in a deep block pressing, two banks of four defenders and midfielders tight, giving away few chances, and ultimately, because I felt the only way Arsenal were going to get 3 points today was if Tottenham did not turn up and them capitalizing on set pieces. And on this day, both things happened. Tottenham didn't turn up for a game. This is Tottenham's Champions League final, the North London Derby. They didn't turn up today, but Arsenal were very compact, very diligent, hardworking, and ultimately they got the winning goal from a set piece and they saw the game out.
Yeah.
In my opinion, with ease, because I was very disappointed with Tottenham today, and I'm going to go in on I'm going to go in on one of your favorite coaches today.
Angie.
So,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Bring
no,
it up.
because I told you last is when he came and there was all this. Everybody was drinking from his cup, drinking the Kool-Aid he was serving. Oh, everybody loved him. Oh, he's so refreshing. He's so admirable. Like the way he talks, the way they play football. But the thing with football it's always easy to throw a good side and to get people on your side when the results are
And
coming in, when your team is playing well. But the moment you get punched, and I feel with Tottenham since that Chelsea game, that 4-1 last season with two red cards, that's where I looked at it and like I said, this is not football. I can't get behind the manager doing what he did that day and with the whole fake
the
fake
philosophy.
positive. Yeah, I know it's philosophy, but it's sometimes common sense. Just I don't care how dogmatic or how solid it's your philosophy. At some point, a light bulb has to go in your head and say, you know what, fuck. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
damn, we're in trouble here. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just keep it tight and see what happens. Because also I believe a week or two before that they played Liverpool last season, where Liverpool went out to 9 men, and Liverpool sat deep, compact, defended with 9 men until they got late minutes on goal for Tottenham's win. But we aren't from there. That's been the very moment I started focusing more on Tottenham and as a coach. And with Angie, since towards the back end of last season, they finished the season quite poorly. They lost against Chelsea. They lost some big
They play
games
very, very
last season.
poorly. Yeah.
They finished poorly, but and as results kept coming in or bad results kept coming in, there's this aggressive, bitter side of Postecoglou that started coming out. The true coach, the true person he started coming. And I hate going a bit personal, but I feel I have to be personal because even with his press conferences today after the game, the body language was not good. He was very aggressive to the reporter who was asking him questions. And I feel this is not the first time. And I feel there's one statement he made that just that wraps everything up perfectly for me. And that's when a manager managing the Premier League says, we don't care about set pieces.
That's what I'm saying. Why do they make those careless statements? Like,
So
come on.
and it's almost as if, as I said, that the Barclays Premier League
As if,
got so like,
as if
okay,
set piece is not part of the game. Like as if they score goal
no,
on set piece, they will disallow it. Why do you
so
have to say
so
that?
so since last season, this Tottenham considered the second highest amount of set pieces against Nottingham Forest with 23, Tottenham 18.
Yeah, yeah. Second,
And on the opposite side of that spectrum, we have Arsenal with the most set piece
most
goals from
goals.
last
Yeah, I think
from
eight.
la- from last from last season, 24 Premier League goals from set pieces since last season. So that's where the difference. And if fundamentally, that's where this game was won today on. And the part that beats me up or worries me with this whole team was everybody saw the gameplay. We all this match we saw this match last season, the way Arsenal scored a couple of their goals last season from Sedley, the own goal, and I think one of the other goals, where you know this is your weakness. Everybody just knows this is your weakness. The goalkeeper is not strong enough defending set pieces.
Yeah, it's
Romero,
like
who's
David De Gea. Yeah, he's like
Romero, who's one of the renowned centre backs in Premier League.
uh,
He was not aggressive or attentive enough defending that set piece. But even at that, that's when, okay, if a fantastic header of the ball beats you on a set piece, that's when you hope for your goalkeeper to come out and either make a save or intervene, come out for a punch, come out for a catch, or just come out for a catch the ball and defuse the whole situation. But with Tottenham, it was literally a carbon copy from the goal they conceded last season. So that worries me. Where you're going to this game, you know, okay, you know what to expect from Arsenal. Arsenal will come here with the injuries and suspensions they have, or suspension they have, okay, they won't try and come and play back and forth football. They will sit deep, try and control the game as they can, but they will look for those moments on the counter transitions and set pieces. Because when he said that, I was like, okay, you know what, this is it, you're finished. You are in this league, you are finished
no, you are finished
because
because
because that just that arrogance to even believe that it doesn't matter that I found it was insane to me when he said
so
it.
are you trying to belittle those that score through? Like I don't understand what
No,
they,
it's a very flawed way of thinking because okay, I see we all know I don't care who you are, I don't care how you play. If you play the ball with 80% possession, 90% possession, create goals, score different types of goals, as you still have to rely on set piece because on some days when things are tough for you, you can't break teams down. You get that goal from set pieces, from a set piece, it opens up the game and you then not go on to win it. And vice versa. On days where this game the quality of the game was quite low, but Arsenal always had that trump card, and I felt when they got that corner that led to the goal, Arsenal fans were on the corner, on the side where the corner was taken from. It felt like that they had won a penalty. There was this optimistic joy they had when they won that set piece, and that's a damning indictment on Postecoglou's Tottenham team. And let's not forget it's a Tottenham team that they spent over 350 million to build this team so far. And I look at that 11 on the day today. It looked void of quality.
no, it looks.
I know
But
I know Busuma was missing.
all of them, their quality. The problem with Paul is that, but is generally now a problem in football because sometimes you go for the unknown player that you feel is good enough. You don't know how he translates. You don't know how he will play in the league. Let me give you an example. I looked on the right wing. They have Kukulevsky or whatever. They have
Yeah.
Odegaard. They have Johnson. These are like almost the same. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's
Yeah,
difficult
I
to
understand. Yeah.
say who's really better. I was looking at Leicester yesterday. They had wings at the time and they had Skip. These are exactly the same thing again. So they don't really have. You look at Pepe. You have Bentaco again, and you have Bisuma. Like they are not really.
Busuma was missing today, but
He hasn't picked
because
up his career. It's not.
yeah,
Is
it's not really gone up a
there
level
was
you
a
expect.
Bisuma before Caicedo came up in Brighton, but the reverse is the case right now. So I don't know what he does, and also Brendan Johnson also like man.
His
Tottenham Forest really
it's
made a lot of money
no
from that sale
that's looking
because I
like a
think they
coup
changed him
for
with Hudson Odoi, right?
yeah. If you could like you
Because
sell Brendan
Elanga was
Johnson,
there with him already.
no, they brought Elanga and Hudson Odoi together
The same season?
the
No.
same season after Johnson left. Yeah, I believe so. I
No,
believe so. Let me
no,
just.
no, no.
I
Elanga
believe
was there
so.
before. Elanga left Manchester United. Remember, Elanga wasn't with.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, Elanga left last season. He left last season. But just go on. Let me just
Okay,
quickly check
and
it.
there are some stats that do you know he's winless in 7 games in North London derby games.
Yeah, that's five
0 wins, zero
zero
out
wins
of
in seven.
7. That how can you? You know every Tottenham fan just wants to beat every fan wants to beat Arsenal. That's just
They
what
want
they
to be
dream of. So if
they,
you have you
they
endear
want to
yourself to
be.
the fans, they're looking at first time, and it's the first time Odegaard and Declan Rice have failed to play. Because ever since Rice joined Arsenal, it's either he's playing or Odegaard is playing. This is the first time they both were absent. You're looking at a midfield of Jorginho and Partey, and he brought in who did he bring in midfield? He brought in
Trossard.
Trossard. So you're
Yeah.
looking at Jorginho, Partey, and Trossard in the midfield. And if you are looking at it on paper, you're telling yourself you're going to win this game. And then there's something somebody was saying, and I think it's 100% right. You know, sometimes when people say they don't look at the stats, like the stats is not more important than the eyeball test. The eyeball test is not more important than the stats. The both have to go together. Look at
No,
eyeball
they go
test.
hand in hand.
Madison is 100% eyeball test. You look at him, he does everything right.
No, but on Madison, I'll disagree on Madison.
Yeah.
And as the game was going, I just took time to write on my notes that Odegaard is having a better game than Madison today.
Monica didn't play.
That's exactly my point.
Monica.
No. But see, no, but with these players, you have Madison
And it was
as
surprising nobody came for him. Spurs were the only team that came. Man, you
yeah.
didn't go. Chelsea didn't
But
go.
there's a reason. But there's a reason why. Because sometimes, like you always ask this question, there are certain players that are available for decent fees. We always wonder why are certain players not going to certain clubs? Because it seems so obvious that he has that talent. But with Madison, I've always said to Madison, he's a fair weather player. Where if the day is good, the team is playing well, you play well. But if you need a player to rise it for the team, to take you that level, to drag you across, to take you to be that man that plays well, that drags you to 3 points, that is very instrumental in your team creating and scoring goals. Like Fernandez is that for United. Whenever United win, Fernandez has his fingerprints
Yeah, yeah,
across
all
that game.
over.
I'm not
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm not saying Fernandez is better than Madison, but Madison for me, especially even with Leicester the season they got relegated, you can't have a player of that quality and you're fighting relegation. Then it comes down to it where, like, I believe one of the last 5 games of the season where you play Everton, that
Mhm.
was turned out to be like a straightforward shooter between you and Everton for
Okay,
who
okay.
gets relegated. Madison on that day misses a penalty that ultimately relegates Leicester City. So this is a player that I felt like he's a good player, but he's not really there most times. So what's the point? Then when you have players like Madison, you have Timo Werner, you have Brendan Johnson, you have Kulisevsky, you have Son, you also have a bunch of players that are doing nothing. They now have to now make matters worse. You now have this coach that's arrogant, doesn't put his players in the he's I've never seen a coach that is so inflexible. Like he's
Yeah,
the
it's
most
like
inflexible coach I've ever
and
seen.
the
It's
substitution,
like
yeah.
Sarri.
The
It's like
substitution.
it's exactly like Sarri, where substitutions
Yeah,
are like for like.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So tactics are what it doesn't change anything regarding tactics. If I'm bringing on Timo Werner, I'm bringing on Timo Werner to do what Madison was doing. Because I look at it like a player like Desiree Doji, who made his name in Serie A this 2 seasons ago before he joined Tottenham. He's one of the quickest players in that team. Why isn't he on the left wing overlapping and Son is coming infield? Why is Son at this age still on the left wing trying to beat his man 1v1? He can't do it. Okay, then move past down. Madison is not creating enough. Players like Bentancur is okay today. Kulisevsky is always flattering to
But
deceive.
why is he playing him in midfield? Why, if he can't play him on the wing, why not get somebody? I look at that because there are two
Then,
players now playing on the wing,
yeah,
and they don't cut infield. He only cuts infield when he wants to whip a coil a shot or whatever. So that means you're leaving Bentancur as the lone person in midfield.
yeah,
Now,
because it's yeah.
let me bust your head. Do you know he has only recorded 4 clean sheets in 37 games?
Exactly what I have here. Romero and Vicario consent, 4 clean sheets in 37 games. The difference compared that to Arsenal's defense, where you have
Mm.
Saliba, Gabriel, and Raya. That's where the difference is. That's where you have this. I feel Tottenham, their defense is too emotional. Romero and Vicario are too emotional. They give you chances. They have this, and you see it like with the best defenders. You see them. They're solid, still faced,
Yeah.
always composed. They don't give you anything. But with Romero is playing like he has a switch in his head that says, okay, you know what, you know what, the game has been a bit uneventful for a while. You know what, do something stupid. Vicario on the other hand is a keeper like, but at this level in the Premier League, we've seen it with David De Gea, we've seen it with Kepa. With these keepers
Mm.
are coming, they're good goalkeepers, ball playing, fantastic shot stopper. But when it comes to defending set pieces, and once the Premier League knows that this is your
You're having
weakness,
that, yeah, yeah. They want you to
they
the end.
will they will hunt you, and it gets to a point where you either have to change, you have to change tactically and structurally, or you have to take the goalkeeper out. Because at this moment in time, it's just a net negative. When you're going, you go to game, you have games against the likes of Nottingham Forest, Everton, West Ham, Newcastle. That's what they will target. That's how they will get 3 points off you because you're not good at set pieces. And then it all comes down from the top when you have a manager that is as bullish and as uh, uh, it sounds like I'm a person at home, but
No, no,
just straightforward,
I get what you're saying. I
just
get,
but just
but
but
you have
just
to
straight.
realize if those players are his signings or if he's Daniel Levy. Levy has a way of always signing players for his squad.
and
But the way
and
he
and
plays Brendan Johnson, I start seeing. I think is his sort of player.
and this is where the like if you see both clubs now, because I feel Tottenham always feel the Tottenham Arsenal they have this rivalry going on. I don't know how Tottenham fans feel or how close they feel to Arsenal or how close they feel the club is. But I think ultimately there's a lack of trust with Tottenham, and it's not just with Ange Postecoglou. It goes back to even Pochettino. After Pochettino, who came after Pochettino?
Mourinho.
After Mourinho, then you have Nuno Espirito comes in, who we've seen he's a good coach, but he comes, he doesn't really get it going. Conte comes in, Conte burns down the house. But there's this lack of trust where I feel managers don't have that trust with the leadership at Tottenham. So
Yeah.
and like you ask, and like, and
Yeah.
like you and like you ask, like who's into, and this is signings because I feel nowadays like there's this whole head coaches and director of football club have their own vision of signings, but I feel most times a club won't sign. It doesn't make sense, or it's not profitable for a club to sign a player that doesn't get the blessing of the coach.
Yeah.
So I find it. So all these players coming through the door are is probably and probably has his blessings on them. They're probably his players or probably players he likes. But ultimately, when you're this, I know this is just the second season. You're going to your second season and you see players like Harry Kane leave the club, Eric Lamela has left the club, Ericsson going back to even Dele Alli and Cole left the club, and you see, even Lucas Moura and so forth, and you see the kind of players coming in, even Busuma back then, but you see players like Ndobele coming in,
Dejan
um,
Spence.
they exactly Julian Spence. You see Kulusevski now coming in, Bentoko coming in, Busuma coming. These are not cheap transfers. Oh. Timo Werner came on loan. I think they've expected it again. Solanke for 65 million pounds. Brendan just all this. So it's all these players that come. So it's a situation where the club is actually spending money. Romero comes in as well. Dragostin has come in as well. Van der Ven, Udoji, Poro. They basically in the last 2 3 years they brought a
But
whole
do you know? I want to be blasphemous. Do you know eyeball? If I watch Vanda, you called him Van der Vliet, right?
Van der Ven. Yeah,
Van der Ven. If I watch him, I think he's the best left-footed. I so much love the way he progresses the ball.
like I said with emotional defenders and goalkeeper. I think Van der Ven he's more. I feel he's more solid than Romero because
And he's
he's
just
very
been there for so.
unemotional.
Romero has been there. I've never been convinced with Romero. I've never. I knew him at Atlanta. He's at that state. Don't get me wrong. If you are very very exceptionally good going forward, like David Lewis is, I can take certain. But
Yes,
I'm not that
and and
exceptional. So
and if you have and like with David Luiz, you can always count on David Luiz. And I felt can always count on Dawood for the big games where he's really
Yeah,
focused
yeah, yeah,
and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
always up for those games. Like you see him like big even from his very first few months at Chelsea where he makes his debut. I think one of his first starts was against United then when he played
Yeah,
well,
it's called the
scored the winning goal. But you counted on Davies for the big games. He was always present. He was always performing big game performances. But it seems with Romero, I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. It's worrying, but I feel less because it's not just this season. They've
Well,
been poor for almost 8 months.
the reason why I feel is justifiable, I don't, at the same time, I don't feel Angie out. Some people are calling for his job. I won't call for his job. Is that I've seen Mourinho come there and it did not work. I've seen Conte come there and it did not work. And the
And
reason how
Pochettino's tenure actually died out.
yeah ended. So
Yeah,
now I also if even if I had a doubt in my mind that okay Conte maybe it's not his fault, it's the fault of the club. Maybe they could have allowed it. Maybe they need another type of Conte. While I was thinking that, I was watching Napoli's highlights.
yeah.
Romelu Lukaku had 2 assists today and scored one
Top
goal. But bro,
top of the table in Syria now.
when I watched Lukaku, his movement, it was like he's leveled. I'm
This like
telling you, like
Lukaku with Conte is like R9 Ronaldo de Lima.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
it's
So that's where you realize the more you get older, the more to burn the fat becomes more difficult. He's a top professional. I've never seen anybody complain about him as
yeah
regards. So I think he is
yeah
well, but that's just the nature of his body, like an American footballer or something like that.
yeah. But I also feel like there's some players that like to feel like the environment they are in. They need this special. I don't know. There's a certain part of Lukaku's psyche that I feel Conte taps into, where it's not like it's instantaneous where
But
he
if you're
gets
chairman, are you making that signing for 27 million for Conte?
if I'm bringing Conte because I feel
Yeah,
Tottenham, I feel
if you are bringing Conte, you
it's
have to do it. But
exactly so
but if Conte is telling me
it's
you have to bring Lukaku, I'm not bringing him
but
because
see but the proof I understand but the proof will be in the pudding. So like right so far it's looking like good business for Tottenham for Napoli where they
so
bring in Lukaku.
it's looking
So
like
but
good
and
business.
but that's the level like as long as Conte is getting his way in transfers and you're getting the players or the targets he wants and he's actually coaching the team because Napoli they don't have European commitments this season. You can see like and Syria is quite fluid in terms of other teams competing Juventus, Roma. The Roma doesn't have a good start to the season. Inter Milan drew today as well. So it's an open field to challenge for the Serie A title. And with Conte, like Conte and Serie A titles, they're like one and two. They go hand in hand. He really,
But
he really, he really doesn't win a Serie A title in the
you
league.
know,
Like I said, like it comes back to that trust, like where you get that trust between the owners of the club, the leadership, the directors, the coach, and the players. It all aligns. And when you say, okay, if I bring Conte, you trust Conte with his decision making with Lukaku, and
Mhm.
if and in the same sense, Conte trusts the talent that Lukaku has to come and deliver for him whenever he calls on him. Because even the first game because Lukaku probably had a preseason, was part of this Chelsea's bomb squad where he was just I don't know where he's been, but he's on his debut. He scored on his debut. He's gone on to the press again today, so he's getting and it's just you're building something slowly. And even with players like Crava is back on form, you have McTominay there as well, where I feel that's a strong
that
player
was
to
a
have in
massive
it.
pickup for them.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was a
player that I
massive.
feel.
I get it. They also picked the Chelsea former Chelsea Brighton player, the
Yeah,
Scottish
Gilmore.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'll have
okay.
and I'm surprised that so many teams didn't move for Mark because to me, forget about what Ferdinand were saying or the likes of said Ferdinand. If you can't have the opportunity of having Manuel Ugarte, except he's not good enough. If I have the opportunity of having Emmanuel Ugarte, I have Manuel Ugarte in that team. I have Kobe Meno, and this is where I always tell myself. Also, even as a Chelsea fan, I've been critical of the owner so very very well, but I always pinch myself and tell myself, why are they not talking about selling Levi Colwill? Why are they not talking about selling Rich James? So there's a level of talent you have. the club won't talk about selling you. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, if you are that good, you will play. It's not. So there are some people that you're having double minds about selling or not. So McTominay, if he was that good like Kobe Meno, they won't contemplate selling him. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now
because
I'm looking at
yeah,
that the
no,
price of
but
McTominay. I'm thinking the likes of West Ham. I'm thinking not really Everton because Everton is really down. But I'm just thinking, even let me give you an example. I don't think it will be bad for Spurs, for example, to say they are picking him up because now
oh,
in the middle,
he'll
because
probably he'll probably score more goals than Madison.
they said, yeah. Now, if you partner him, for example, Bentacore keeps getting injured. If you partner him with Bentacore or with Pepe Sap, because he presses very hard, he's hard work. He's not comfortable with the ball on his leg, but
Yeah,
he
but
scores
off,
goals.
but he has that knack of scoring goals, and to be honest, it's a very it's a skill you can't really teach. Where you just have this
Basically,
player where he knows how to get to the box, and he always more often than he always finishes well. So I think for Napoli with what because the problem is like if you sign the player, Conte has a unique flavor of players that he likes where if you give Conte a Graziano Pelle for the international, if picks a Pelle for the international team in Italy, he gets the best out of Pelle. Those kind of players that I don't really
yeah,
fancy, but Conte
yeah.
has a way of getting the less fancy players to play to a certain level. And I feel as long as you serve Conte with his needs, he will
Yeah,
always.
he'll deliver.
But the moment he has that, there's that he doesn't feel that trust is there anymore. That's where it starts to sour. So
And
for Napoli, it's only
he doesn't go. He has to be his first choice. He doesn't know.
yeah.
Klopp is a manager that's always okay. If I don't get this person, I can get this person. I can work. Back to Angie now. Arsenal has beaten them 3 times in their stadium for the
Yeah,
first time in 50 years, and that's
and
this is the problem I have with Tottenham. This is it. I'm not really why I'm not defending Angie is this is my point. When you had the kind of good season Unai Emery had when he joined the Premier League, when he came, they were just winning games like as if they were paying the officials. They kept winning towards the end. They qualified for Conference League or whatever, right? The next season, I'm expecting him to struggle. There's a way you'll be good towards the end. I'm expecting teams will find you out. You are going to struggle. But
yeah.
you don't play well the first few weeks of your coming, then struggle the middle and end of the season, then start struggling again the second season. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to
No,
say.
yeah,
The- the-
understand what you mean. I understand what you
so
mean.
he ended badly and he's struggling at the beginning. That is the recipe for sack. That's how sack
No,
comes. Like
but it's also the like what I find hard. It's the inability to move things around. Just I understand that okay, you have your certain principles because they build up in a 2-3 shape where you have fullbacks going to midfield with the lone number 6. You have that create midfield, then two centre backs. But it's become so predictable where okay, everybody they've all watched the tapes. If
yeah,
I can go on YouTube and with 10 minutes I'll clip up Tottenham's whole build up play in 10 minutes. You will see how you see how when it's good, it's very good. Like we've seen it. I see like against Everton, against a poor Everton side, even against Leicester City, the first game of the season. But even but the problem is on days where it's good, it's still the overall performance is hindered by the quality of the players on the pitch. Where you create tons of chances against Leicester City in the first half, you dominate those games, but ultimately you don't put the second goal in, and you give away sloppy chances at the back. It's a recipe for disaster in this Premier League. So it's either you are scoring your opponents or you're scoring one or two and you're keeping it tight at the back. But they are, they are doing neither of those things, and they don't have those. They don't have that maverick or that X factor player that you can count on to bail you out in these circumstances
you
where
don't have. You don't have.
you don't have like a Kopama or a
That is
Saka
that is that is
Odegaard.
who Madison was expected to be. I get
Yeah,
United have Fernandez, Chelsea have Palmer, Villa have Watkins. I get what you're trying to say.
so
Arsenal have like Saka and Odegaard. Although I get what they don't have that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
player that
yeah, they have Saka and Luka, but even on days where you don't have or Saka doesn't have one of his best games, or as a attacking force, you're not at your best. You can still go back to the basics of football where you defend in the 4-4-2, compact
okay.
and tight, no silliness, no mistakes. You're aggressive, everything's fantastic, but you know you're playing against a fair weather team and defending set pieces. And for Arsenal, I felt if Arteta couldn't have drawn up
They
this
better.
this a better scenario, a better game scenario than what unfolded,
He,
where we defend properly,
he
we
won my
give few
respect.
chances,
He won
and
my
we score.
respect.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because I feel this Tottenham team is sorry, this Arsenal team, and this is where we have to give credit to Arteta, where
so
I
much.
know a lot of people say, okay, this is there for 5 years, but you know what? Sometimes this is what it takes to get to this level. You just don't get to where this Arsenal team are right now, where they've gone, where their away record is as good as you can get in the Premier League, where they've only conceded 3 goals in their last 10 away performances away from home. They are
This
solid,
season, 4 games now, they've considered only one goal. They
and
are very
and it's,
outstanding.
and and it's in a way like this Arsenal is a mixture of George Graham's Arsenal team, where they were very resolute, solid at the back, and a bit of as a Wenger's flair Arsenal team. And also, I also feel this Arsenal team might be the closest team we get to a Chelsea 2004-2005 season, where they conceded just 15 goals a season, where they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
tough to concede. Like sometimes it feels like just even Arsenal conceding goals alone feels it's so improbable in most games where they give you don't get
what
anything
does
from
William
Arsenal.
Timber offer going forward as a left back? There's
No,
nothing.
no, I know, but I think our followers will see, or our listeners will see. They'll see on my team of the week. Timber is my team of the week this week because I felt he was away with because let's not forget the occasion that this is not only there's a
If
lot
you
of
are watching,
emotion.
sorry, sorry, hold on. If you are watching us and you're enjoying it, please hit the like button, smash the like button, subscribe, drop comments, ask questions if you want us to cover any topic or any player or any team, and then
Yeah,
just keep it going. Yeah, continue. So you were talking about Timber.
yeah, keep an eye out for our team of the week. It's going to be an interesting one this weekend. Conference weekend. But no, but with Timber, like you expect this not only there be like there's a lot of emotions going on, and I felt a player like Solanke did not match up to the
Expectation.
exactly. I feel to the occasion basically because it's a tough game, very emotional, very feisty. But Timber he's fantastic. Where technically he's amazing. Physically, I feel he has no flaws in his game. Where I don't actually like I see him sometimes. I have to ask myself, is he actually a left-footed left back or is he a right-footed player playing at right back? Because he
And he's
looks,
comfortable in midfield.
yeah, he
I think he
looks.
was a midfielder before they moved him. He's very comfortable.
Yeah,
He's
it's
comfortable in
quite.
midfield.
I remember in Ajax, like he plays in midfield as a defensive midfielder sometimes. Even I think his brother, his twin
Yeah,
brother
brother.
plays in midfield.
Yes.
So it's a very, and it comes from that Ajax school where they're all fantastic on the ball. But the problem with the other Ajax players coming out, the Youngs and Van der Beek is they don't have that intensity to play in the Premier League.
But they don't have the intensity. Gravenberg
But
doesn't have it, irrespective of the
yeah,
size. They don't have it.
exactly. But with Timber, he feels like he looks solid. He looks prime and proper, and I feel like
Onana
he has.
and Timber had it. Like you see that ZH didn't have it.
They don't have.
Anthony has it,
I
but
thought,
he just has it in little after 20 minutes.
and Anthony, like Anthony does it. That's I don't know. I don't know. But with Arsenal, I feel this is Arsenal. This is where they are. Where it's just for them. I feel it's unfortunate that I'm going against
do
the
you
the
think
job the job.
do you think Daniel Levy has to step down from? But he's no longer handling their football. They suspended their
No,
Italian
yeah, Sporting
Peter
director.
Rico.
But I feel like what's it called? Dan Levy is still. I believe he's still running the football club, the operational football club. But with Tottenham, we have this, and I also feel I don't want to because I find it hard to. A lot of Tottenham fans will criticize Levy because of the question is aspirations, and they have that there's lack of trust in where the vision of where the club is going. But I feel like let's not. He's also done some good things as well, like building a £1 billion stadium in the heart of London is no easy feat.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like so, and I know Tottenham fans look okay, like we have this shiny new toy, this expensive stadium, but on the pitch, it's not. There's a lot still lacking, and I don't know, but I feel, and that's why even because I saw with Postecoglou today, he said there was this quote where he had on Sky Sports. I correct myself. I don't usually win things. I always win things in my second year.
So is
I've
he
been,
trying to tell me that
wait, I'll say it again.
if the season is not warranted, we
I
should wait
correct
till
myself.
the season ended?
I, I correct myself. I don't usually win things. I always win things in my second year. So I feel this is where there's a bit of this is where the bit of power plays now coming in, where the shifting attention from the dugout to the boardroom, where me as a coach I always win. This club has not won. It's almost like it's like a
Yeah, yeah,
Conte-esque, Mourinho-esque statement
yeah.
where wherever I've gone I've always won. But this club has never won. So it's not my problem. It's the vision of the club.
But do you know where I have? Do you know where I feel I'm concerned if I'm a well, maybe fan, but if I'm an executive or Tottenham, you look around you, everybody around me is building something. Mine is
Yeah,
getting better, right?
yeah,
Look at the players they are targeting and they are signing. If they
yeah.
sack Ten Hag and get somebody, they are exponentially better. You look at Aston Villa. Aston Villa, we just saw Bogart play the other day. We don't know where he comes from. They have the Chelsea guy to debutize for Digny. They have Moreno who
Martin,
they sent on loan. They have Onana who had a bad game this week, but he's still. You understand what I'm trying to say? They have
yeah,
Roja. They are
you have
getting
Ross
better.
Barkley, you have Ross Barkley on the chip. You have this fantastic young striker coming on, scoring
Yeah,
match-winning goals
Chelsea
to
is
one.
getting better
So
with quality. West
yeah,
Ham, they've done good recruitment. I don't know what is happening. I don't know, but it's too
it's
early.
it's too early. Yeah,
It's too early because to me, first West Ham had the best transfer. That's why I rated. Then you look at Brighton. Also, I understand this guy is not going to have it this rosy, but he's going to have some problems. But the recruitment, look at what they've done. They've got Adingra. Do you know that Chelsea? Another thing I noticed this season is Brighton is one team that, in as much as the first team is not very loaded, but if they are running you very, very close, let's assume the game is close, even if you are winning them or they are winning you, it is a narrow game. Brighton have the sort of players to take out the player and put another one. You don't notice any difference. You take
there's
out
there's there's
you put
there's
out Digra, nothing that's really.
there's
You understand what I'm trying? The players you
there's a
put
lot of quality.
yeah, they have a lot of quality. Yeah, unlike Spurs, and the
But
quality is very, very close. With Brighton, anybody
it's
can start. Pedro didn't play last game. Someone who replaced Pedro is
it's
Pedro.
Georgino Ruta.
Rodrigo Rota. Yeah, you see.
Yeah,
Then you look at their left back. They had one guy from, was it Ecuador or Colombia, Estupinian or something like that.
yeah.
He was very good. He had injury. He left. Now Hessen Wood or whatever is playing for his position. They can take him out. They have one they bought from Italian team. Igor something something something. I
You
don't know.
call, yeah. That
Yeah,
was
he's a center. You now
was
look at the team. Yeah, you look at the team. Veltman, if you want to play attack, if Tarek Hamley and Lamptey is not injured, they take him out. So you look at it, they've done a very good job in recruitment. They sold Bonatet or something like that. They sold one of their one Argentine player. I saw him in the lineup yesterday.
is
I forgot.
no is alone now. He's alone Leicester City.
Okay, it was Elon or Leicester City.
Yeah,
So
he's
you
alone.
look at Brighton, they are getting
But
better. So if
but
this
it's but
doesn't click, they found themselves in a big lot of trouble because to clear out these boys might be difficult. Let's assume any of them because you have Johnson. Where are you gonna sell him? If you have Johnson is not performing, you have Kukulevsky. You don't understand what I'm trying to say to clear
yeah, I
out.
understand.
But they have a Norwegian boy or something like that. Or is it
Yeah,
Swedish boy?
Swedish attacking midfielder. But like you said with Brighton, and I think it's important you brought that point because going back to last season, along with Ange Postecoglou, there was another coach I really did not understand in Premier League last year, and that was Roberto De Zerbi, where you go to this club, this Brighton, we all know Brighton's model, we know their USP, you know what they're all about. You go there, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because you had a good season where you take them to Europe for the first time, I believe in their history or in a long time. where you feel you can then walk into the boardroom and start making demands in terms of recruitment policies.
Yeah.
That's make it okay. You bring in players like Igor from Fiorentina. You bring
Mm.
in German, I think, was it this thing? What's his name? Mohamed Dawood from the Bundesliga. You
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
all these players, or you influence the club to get these players against Brighton's MO, against Brighton's USP in terms of recruitment. They get you these players, and these players they don't look good. Ultimately, they can't get into the lineup, and then you start going on a bad run where you're tactically you're inflexible. You concede goals all the time. You don't know, but you're playing good football though. Apparently, you're
Yeah,
playing good football. You're
you
building
play
up.
good.
The,
Yeah,
no, allegedly, you're playing good football. Though. The build up is fantastic, but you're losing heavy against Luton Town. You're losing heavy at home. You can't score goals. I mean, there was a month they didn't score. The only goal Brighton scored was the goal of the month for one football for home month was an own goal against Burnley, and you have all these things going against you, but you're still fighting behind the scenes with the ownership in terms of
yeah,
what
yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing. So this infight is there's only going to be one winner in this situation, and that's why I feel I feel it's the same rules where Andrew is going down, where making a statement like I always win in my second year. That is as good as a mandate to say you might as well sack me right now because Tottenham, I'll tell you for free, Tottenham are not winning anything this year. When this actually happens and they don't win anything this year. Cops than Tottenham, I can say with full confidence, they don't win and they won't win this year. So when you ultimately don't win this season, that statement will echo
Yeah,
through
yeah, yeah,
time
yeah.
this season, and ultimately come down to okay now who is responsible for this club being in this state where they are, where you have a player like Timo Werner, where it's clear as day where we all know Timo Werner's level in the Premier League. It's just not good enough.
You
So
know,
who's there making or pushing for players like Timo Werner to come in, pushing for I know Solanke had a tough game and whatnot. But as much as you can question the recruitment, they've gotten some wrong. There's some there are still questions that are cautious on, but there's some they've gotten right. Like Ricardo is a good goalkeeper. Like I know you're a fan of him.
yeah, yeah.
He's a very good goalkeeper, and it's something that with set pieces. It comes down to organization of it. Where Ateta said on his press conference, where he said, I can't find it. Um, I can't quite find the
What?
note.
Okay.
But he basically said like set pieces like all we just did is we prepare for it. Yeah, Ateta says we work on the right delivery and we head the ball. It sounds so simple. Though. It sounds so simple where you get the perfect delivery and your centre back or your striker gets the head on the ball and you get the goal. But it sounds simple. A lot of and you see Arsenal whenever Arsenal score a goal from the set piece, there's always a guy. There's always I think that's always celebrating with their set piece coach Jonas Jove.
Oh,
That's is giving his credits all the time whenever they score from a set piece or whenever one of their training ground it's not just corners, even free kicks, throw ins,
yeah.
corner kicks, even because while unless I go back to the same set away it says I don't care about set pieces and it feels like
But
we saw
but
with
but but
Brentford.
but but, but this is another thing that I have. Set piece is part of the game, but it's not part of the game. Hold on. This is what I feel. In American football, the defense and offense are totally different. So the defense is independent of the offense. It's not like basketball and football, and it's not like soccer and football where the two of them have to work together. Because if the quarterback
Mhm.
is on the field, the other team's defense is playing against me. Then when we leave, our defense will play against your attack. You
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
what I'm saying? So when
yeah.
you are playing set piece, everybody stops to go and defend the set piece and continue with the game. So why not just get a coach that coaches set piece? Because it's not part of it's totally different from what your
No,
daily job
yeah,
is.
exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I feel it's not just. I feel like yeah, just get a coach, but it's also an attitude towards set piece. Where and in the past we've seen different clubs. I think Klopp is one of the is a manager that's put a lot of importance of set pieces, not just corners, free kicks. But even with Liverpool, I think one of the main clubs in European football that had at a point had a throwing coach,
Hmm.
a coach that was in the part of the backroom staff for a few years that was directing throw-ins. because there's a value add to all those little details, and that's how and this is what successful teams are doing, where they don't leave anything to chance. You see Brentford yesterday, where the goal they scored or how that goal came about, because that goal came straight from kickoff. And that kickoff, it played out like you said, like American football. Like they have, because
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks and wide
Yeah,
receivers,
yeah.
they have that gameplay where they have that routes where they run. And all those, it's all planned.
Mm-hmm.
It's feeling like football now. Things like goal kicks, kickoffs are set pieces too. Because you get the ball, you have the ball is
Yeah,
there, you get
yeah,
the
yeah.
ball, you pass. Because you see Man City Brentford's goal yesterday. They had the kick off, pass it to the goalkeeper. The keeper hits it long when they already have a man there waiting. Wilson knocks it down to the player on the wing, goes into the box, cross goes to the other side, and the ball goes into the box. They get a goal. It all seems so simple, like, oh, good play, but all this is all planned. There's no, in terms of football nowadays, there are very few things left to chance.
I see
Everything's
that. Yeah,
rehearsed.
yeah, yeah. Everything. Yeah,
Everything's
yeah, yeah.
everything's rehearsed before, and that's why I go back to it with Tottenham, where I don't see any clear plan to get goals consistently. Where I saw today where it got to after the goal went in that second half, like Arsenal, they could still be playing right now, Arsenal Tottenham, and I don't think Tottenham will score. I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, 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 yeah. They gave up. And it happens to them a lot of time. Like after 60 minutes, they just give up. They could.
it's getting to the point where I'll shoot. Let me shoot because I've bashed him a lot in the last 40 minutes. I'll give him some bail. But it's a situation where we've had the same discussion in different forms in the last 5 to 6 years, where we see Pochettino had the whole season where Tottenham did not make a single signing. Now, the only clubs in European football then that did not make a single signing
I
in
think
a
that's where the opportunity. They miss the opportunity. That's where
so
they.
it's so you get this, and I don't understand. I don't know if I don't know if coaches know they can play on this fact that Tottenham have this history, and they can use that to cover up their own personal flaws. Because I feel that for Ange, there's a lot Ange could be doing better to get players in better positions to help the team. Like Destin Doji, I don't see the value add in bringing Destin Doji, who's I feel is a very good fullback that can overlap down the wing. Bringing him to midfield, I don't see what exactly does he add to the team. I understand the dynamics where you're trying to get the shape, but you can do that in a different way. Either you play two number six, or you play three centre backs and you
Mhm.
play two number six, or you free up Doji, you free up Pro. These are because we see like fullbacks now basically the original creators in most
Mhm.
teams, where you see them taking corner kicks, free kicks and whatnot, but you see them flying. You see like what's Man City's 80 million pound fullback Guardiola. He comes up with clutch goals for Man City. He brings a lot to Man City's attack, not just defensively. All these little things, and it comes because I feel with the way they started and his statement in the media this evening. I feel now this week he's put a lot of pressure on the club now. Where I think they're playing Europe. I think they're playing Europe this week. That result will be under scrutiny. The next few Premier League games, until they start getting consistent performances, will be all under microscope. Where everyone will be looking, okay, we all know this is what's happening. Let's try and stir the pot. You know how we all know how
Mhm.
we all know how poisonous the media can be in the Premier League. So, and I also felt like there was no need to amplify the noise around the club and making statements or just even over his overall demeanor in press
Mhm.
conferences. But I feel for Tottenham it's just it might be one of those cases like because we've seen clubs like even Everton where Aston Villa
Mhm.
for a long time where they try to Aston Villa tried to break the top four in the Premier League, get to Champions League. They tried for a few years, they could not get it. They just started sliding back. Ultimately, they got
We fell
relegated.
apart with my Martin.
Everton,
That's when I
Martinelli,
became Villa became my second team. Martin O'Neill with that is that night. They had some Kuela, they
exactly.
had something Kuela. They
Exactly.
had
Now,
I remember that
yeah,
squad very, very well.
and
With there was a Norwegian. Is it I keep making mistake with Norway and Denmark. I think it's Danish. Lawson, they had from AC Milan.
Matt lost, yeah,
Then they
Martin
have
Lawson.
Petro, the
Yeah,
Romanian,
they
Bulgarian, sorry, not Romania, one Bulgarian.
Petrov,
Petro. That squad
yeah,
was very, very
It's
good.
called, but the same thing. Like I feel like the same thing where they push, but they didn't just have enough to cross that line. And I feel and I hate to say it, but I feel with Tottenham, unless there's significant change from top to bottom. I feel Tottenham might never cross. Well, I think it's crazy to say never, but at this point, I don't see them crossing that, making that divide where they become a top four club consistently, challenging
It,
for cups. Because
because
I feel so it just feels like the highest they can ever go is where they finish second, or they
remember Harry Kane was a big part of whatever reason that made them
yeah,
finish the top. With his
and
injuries, they have to be super. And then Son is no longer the same player he was.
Son
They,
is so it's because it's I feel it's top it's tough because I don't feel like the transfer window has closed because either certain players they have in the team start performing better or to a higher level and that ultimately helps the team or and the coach can change to move things around tactically. But if you're still in a situation where you're always susceptible to concede goals, no clean sheets, and like you said, I mean 4 clean sheets in the last 37 games.
37 games. That's poor. Damn.
Four clean sheets in your last 37 games, and this is regards of this is home or away. Oh. Four clean sheets
Damn.
in 37 games. So you don't even have home
That means the
comforts.
defenders are not even confident because clean sheets
It's,
give you confidence.
yeah, exactly.
Even
But
when
when
you
you
draw the game as a defender, if you keep a clean sheet, you go home, you're
yeah,
feeling
exactly,
like, yeah,
exactly. Like we saw with Chelsea yesterday, even Manchester United yesterday as well. Though the performances were not as convincing in Chelsea's case, and United was more convincing than Chelsea. But the fact that you get a clean sheet, and that was Chelsea's first clean sheet away from home since this same fixture against Bournemouth last season,
mm,
so almost about 12 months or thereabouts where your first finish away from home. But like we both know that problem was more systematical in terms of the overall structure
mhm,
of the team where I felt I put a lot of Chelsea's problems last season at the door of Pochettino where I felt he didn't do enough to help the team tactically and structurally to help certain players hide their deficiencies and overall. Because if you keep conceding goals, there's a problem. And we'll talk
mhm,
about. I think if we have time today, we'll talk about that. If you keep conceding goals at this high, at the rate at which Tottenham have been conceding goals, it's not about. It's partly about the individuals in the team, but it's more about the structure of the team. It's not like
mhm,
you've had because sometimes we have bad games. Like Arsenal, they had bad games last season where they conceded 2 or 3 goals, or even Man City had a bad game where they conceded 4 goals against Chelsea, draw the game
mhm,
4-4. That's one of. But if you're consistently, regardless of opposition, teams at the bottom of the table, one is you concede goals. The best teams you concede goals. I just think the longer this goes on, and that's why I'm not quite pleased with and because you can just easily come out and say, okay, you know what, one of those games
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we control the game, but ultimately we lost a set piece, we'll go again. But you then make statements like you made. Then
Yeah.
it then it then makes a defeat, and it's not the first time you lost in North London derby. It's not the end of the world, but it makes a defeat bigger
Let
than it
me
should
walk
be.
you through.
So it's
Let's let
I really don't understand.
Andrew will sort himself. Let's go over to the next one. What do you have to say about Everton and their game with Villa? Villa came from behind and won 3-2. With John Duran scoring a screamer, like
Yeah,
it was
it seems
unbelievable.
because I feel like there are certain players because during the international break there was this trend on Twitter going around Barclays men that they were bringing out old highlights from back in the days in Premier League where there were a lot of screamers from likes of Matthew Taylor, Grant Pedersen, players that are also like reminiscing on the old days of Premier League football where there were players that were scoring a lot of screamers.
Mhm.
And I feel John Duran was hyped by that. So like, you know what? I'll back myself to get
Yeah,
that
get it.
shot. I feel that goal was stupendous. That was an amazing goal. But to go to on the overall game, I felt Villa started slowly. They look like a team that had a lot of players away on international break or a lot of players coming back injured. They didn't start the normal aggressive and compact nature. And Everton they took advantage of that. They got 2 goals up. Dwight McNeil was fantastic in the first goal and creating the second goal. But, but ultimately, like I said, with Tottenham conceding goals, it's just I know it's simple. Okay, they're playing away from home. They're playing against a very good Aston Villa side. Aston Villa create a lot of chances most
Mhm.
games, but I just feel it's very unlike Sean Dyche. And Sean Dyche is a guy I stand by. I trust his methods. I feel Everton. I know a lot of Everton fans will disagree with me, but I feel they are still in safe hands with Sean Dyche. But there's a lot of there's
I
a
think they're
change
in
in it.
safe hands, but there's something not
There's
really working. Now I'm
there's
looking at him himself. So you have to
yeah,
change something, yeah,
I
but
feel,
you are still in safe
I feel,
hands.
I know, cause like, cause this is, it's not a good look when in two games, two home and away, you go 2 goals up, and you surrender a 2 goal lead, and to lose that game 3-2.
But is it just
And
me? I want to say something. Why does Cavill keep missing chances? Did you see? Did you, did you,
I know, but I know, like, I know but I feel that is the nature of strikers where sometimes it looks like you miss those chances and it comes back to haunt you. But I feel even on the other hand, it's
but
even
even
at
they were 2 goals ahead, so they should be good.
yeah, and there were 2 goals up, but I felt at they got a goal back with Watkins, but at 2-1, he had another decent chance that he should have buried to make it 3-1. And those are the margins where you're dealing with in the Premier League where you miss that chance. A few minutes later, their striker Watkins returns in kind, equalizes 2-2, and then Duran comes on, does what he does. But you see, then get another chance, you hit the crossbar. And it's just because with Everton, with Sean Dyche, it's mainly been if last year they were more often than not solid at the back, but they did not create enough,
Love
or
chances.
they did not create enough. They create a lot of chances, but they did not take a lot of chances. So you're not so depending on how swung the other way, where you're creating chances, scoring goals, but you can't keep clean sheets. And the problem with this, it's like a virus that starts to spread. That lack of confidence starts spreading to players like Pickford, where you see Pickford starts making mistakes. The centre backs are not solid. I feel they're missing English centre back, Gerard Braithwaite. He's not played the game so far this season. And
Is it
I
injured?
just is injured. I just don't want to just put it. They're missing one centre back. I know Braithwaite is a good centre back, but I feel that problems are predominantly at the right back. Ashley Young cannot be your
But
starting right back in
they
Premier
had a Scottish. Did they have a Scottish?
Yeah, they have a Scottish right back, Peterson, and they have
Is he
the
injured?
old.
I hardly
Is
see him again.
he's always in and out. He can't build games. He's always in and out. So you
They
also
bought
always
him
stuck
from
with.
Rangers, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but
It's
I'll get
Rangers,
second
I
from
can
someone.
remember. What of Mikolenko or something like that? Is it?
Yeah, still he's okay.
Is he left?
He's okay.
He plays on the left, right?
Yeah, he's on left, but I feel in terms of personnel in the squad, I feel Ashley Young and Michael Keane. Those are the two weaker defenders in that
No,
team.
but they
And
have to address that. They have to address the right back, the left, because I'm not still convinced in Mikolenko though. The left,
yeah,
the right,
so
because in the center of the field they are good. With Irebulem, to me, I'm convincing him. With Idrisi Goye, I don't know how Idrisi has been playing for this long, but you don't need a replacement in that area. And then they
so
keeping.
in that so good thing that next game is away at Leicester City, and this is where because this that'll be the fifth game of the season. And if you go into that game, if you don't get positive result and a positive performance, I feel it might be early as well, but I feel alarm bells start ringing. If you go away to Leicester and don't get positive results, you don't get that because I feel sure that you get the players on the grass on the training ground this week. I feel there'll be a lot of practice drills on defending crosses, set pieces, and all that base. Just going back to the basics. But with Cavallon, I always feel Cavallon, he's always good for a goal in most games. Dwight McLean is making things happen. I like Indai so far. It's good. Midfield looks solid, but I just going 2 goals away at Aston Villa. That's a
Yeah,
good.
that's a good goal. But funny enough,
That's
I want to say something you won't agree with me. Do you know the more I watch John Duran, the more I feel that I don't think he's a starter for a big team. I think him being a substitute is good for his game because I've watched him. Maybe I'm wrong. He doesn't carry
Yeah,
the ball. He calls for the ball often because he wants to shoot or give you a 1-2 and run inside. But he doesn't progress the ball. You know how Adriano he has the power of Adriano. Or I'm going hyperbole. Don't get me wrong. He's not Adriano, but you know how you see Adriano. You know he can light it up,
yeah,
right? The
yeah,
same thing,
yeah,
Obafemi Martins used to be like that. Obafemi Martins used to be like that, but Obafemi could run with the ball long distance. I don't think John Duran is that kind of a player.
but but you know what, and I feel this is where what I mentioned again, that trust where I trust Unai Emery to figure it out because he's a very astute
Yeah, yeah,
tactician, and I
yeah.
feel with the amount of games Aston Villa will play this season, Champions League, Premier League, and the Cup games as well, I won't be surprised at some point this season they go to a three at the back with wing backs and they go with two strikers. Because I feel the issue or the reason why he doesn't really start to run is, well, one is obvious. You have that ace in your pocket when you need to make a change from the bench. When you bring on a player that comes on has that match winning impact. Also feel tactically I feel right now he prefers Morgan Rogers because Morgan Rogers is more flexible in terms of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
overall positions he picks up on the pitch behind Watkins. It gives Watkins that freedom as well to move. It's a good problem to have because I feel Watkins can also play. Watkins is one of those strikers that likes to. He has that Henry thing about him that he likes to attack wide areas and come into
yeah, yeah.
central position. So I feel it's something where because it's a question because at some point you have to give him a start. It's one because
Mm-hmm.
he's perfect. Because so far he's 4 games. He's come off the bench 3 times and he scored 3 match winning goals. So he's knocking on that door.
Yeah,
So I don't know how things will progress over the but it's but
we
with
had a lot of time, a lot of games. Let's
it's
end it
rough
with this player. I didn't know Nkunku has only made only 2 starts for Chelsea last season.
in the Premier League. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
missed a
didn't know
lot.
that. Only two
Yeah,
starts.
yeah, yeah.
Damn,
But
that
like,
means he was non-existent. He
yeah,
played
but like I've
11 games. He played 11
yeah,
games, but he started only two.
yeah. He was
And those
very
two, those two, I'm surprised. I can say that it's possible he didn't play even up to 60 minutes, maybe 50. They moved
yeah,
to that. Oh, that means last season he wasn't really. This is his
yeah,
first
but
season
yeah, no,
because
but this is
this goal was
but
his fourth goal. Or in all his four, he has scored 4 goals for Chelsea. They've all come away from goal, and he's all come
as
in as a substitute. So that's how I checked. I had to check. Um, if he has scored 4 goals as substitute, how many? I found out he just made 2 starts last season. Damn,
yeah,
what a
it's
way
but
to
like
start a career.
yeah, but like we said with Chelsea, like with players like Romeo Lavia, who is unfortunately injured again. But I feel this time it's a shorter injury concern. You have Lavia, Wesley Fofana, Nkunku. These are like we spoke about Tottenham lacking overall quality. Where Christopher Nkunku is a quality player.
Uh,
I feel I'll put him amongst the best finishers in the league. Where they just need that
yeah,
one chance. He's a consistent goal, he's a consistent finisher. But when you're robbed of these players for majority of a long season, when in terms of Nkunku, you can swap Nkunku out for Jackson. When you games where Jackson is not quite getting the best out of you're not getting the best out of Jackson, you bring on another striker, brings on that, gives you another a fresher edge.
yeah.
And Lavia, we also Lavia against Man City. He was a standout performer for me on the day where he controlled the game, defended well, progressed the play well. But you miss those kind of players, and let's not forget our ever missing captain, James. It's if you this like
I'm starting to
this
feel for his career though.
it's getting to a point where something I don't know if it's divine. I saw two this last weekend I saw a video of Indra Gomez, New England the player that made his
Yeah,
debut for
yeah, yeah,
England. I saw a video of him. He went to the evangelist Stevie Joshua.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
He went wait. He went to TV Joshua's chapel or church or
touch.
whatever you call it to find divine intervention in helping him get his career back on track. Because at that point he was getting a lot of injuries. I think he got released that time. I got released by United. He was still
Ah,
finding his way. So I feel that's what James might need.
Yeah, I get what you
You,
saying. You know, I think
you
his dad
might
is Angolan. I get what you're saying. His dad is Angolan or something.
you might we might need to set with James. So we trust.
Sometimes I'm thinking what he will be going through his mind. That thing, and when
No,
he comes
because
back,
it's
he doesn't come back the same. He's more bulky.
no,
He's more. He has
yeah,
to play a lot of games
because
to.
it's
It's like
like in terms of because it's not just that you're missing games. It's you're a fantastic player. You're a very good player, and you're missing games because you can't stay fit. Your body is betraying you at this level, and you're getting at the same time you're getting older. The squad, the team where you play for, where you're actually where you are the club captain. There's a lot of chop and change at Chelsea. So it's only a matter of time before the obvious happens. Where
yeah, you find out.
it's only if it doesn't
And
change,
you're,
it's
and
unfortunate.
you're on a big salary. It's not like you're taking peanuts.
Yeah, yeah, and it's unfortunate that you have to get to a point where you just have to call it and say, you know what, it is what it is. But I feel for him because it must be very tough on him mentally because you're missing out on so much. You're missing not just with Chelsea, but you're missing out on so much for even
Mm.
England. This England national team that they've had good runs in different international tournaments, but you're missing out on so much football. So much is happening. So much is changing around you, and that extra pressure as club captain,
Yeah,
it's I feel bad for him because it's just he just can't break the cycle of
no,
constant
he can't.
injuries. And what's fun about it, especially with James, where it's the worst kind of injuries. It's injuries where you pick up on a training ground.
Right.
You pick up. It's because he had a good preseason in terms of his overall fitness and the games he played. But barely 2 weeks before the season starts, he's out injured again. And we all know with James, if it's not like okay, he's injured for a week or two. With James, if he's injured, it's months. It's a
Yeah,
matter of
yeah,
how
yeah,
many
yeah,
months.
yeah.
It's a matter of now. It's looking like it's already looking like 2 months already. So and the problem then arises when normally you have two players for one position where you have James, you have Malo Gusto. That's fantastic, ideally, but you expect those players to share the burden of playing that position and playing in different games. But it's not because James injuries are not affecting Gusto in a negative way. Well,
Yeah, he has to
it
play
seems
almost every game.
it seems Gusto is not carrying the load of playing as the only recognized right back at the club. But it's not as if Chelsea have not done business in getting. You can't necessarily go and get a third right back to come and be a backup to the backup of
Oh
the
yeah,
first centre back, of the first choice. So it's a very fun, and I hope with some games coming up in the cup and UEFA Conference League, I hope they give
I jump on.
those
I
Archipong
jump
some
on.
games because I was watching highlights of Chelsea's under 21 team today against Brentford in the league, and there was some fantastic play there. Tyreek George had
Yeah, I trust that
Ty-
Tariq John. I did. I
Tyreek
wanted to
George
think
scored.
again.
Tyreek George scored a hat trick. David Washington scored a fantastic overhead kick. Archibong was fantastic at the back. But another point on Tyreek George. Do you know Tyreek George made his Chelsea debut this season against Servette in the qualifier for the Europa League
Oh,
conference.
oh, 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 oh.
But have you noticed there's been very little to no
But no one said
noise
about.
that
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
just watch because I don't know if you know how I feel about Chelsea and their fan base towards certain players from
Okay,
certain demographics. Just pay attention to it
okay, I didn't know.
because
I wanted to see him more in the preseason. I won the first game. He was good.
yeah,
The first game, but I didn't see him again. I'm like, oh, I need to see this boy because I didn't want him to
yeah.
start. Okay.
But I feel do you have any any players of the week or moments of the week
We'll have to
before
write
we
that.
go?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we go, I'll give a special shout out to Chelsea's Cobham Academy graduates, not just in Premier League but even in European football. Tammy Abraham scored his first goal for AC Milan on his first start. Conor Gallagher scored for Atletico Madrid today as well.
Oh,
Callum Hus- Callum Hudson-Odoi
yes.
had a match win against Liverpool, and Olania had had a fantastic performance against Liverpool as well. So it's a good week for
What
Cobham
they do, yeah,
graduates.
yeah, for all of
Yeah,
them. Congrats.
except this amount.
It's part of the graduate.
Oh,
Okay, on that note, we call it a day. Okay, see you next time.
okay. See
Thanks
you
a
next
lot.
time. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Okay.